What's the most creative way you've ever followed your parents' rules just to annoy them? When I was 16, my parents created a brand new rule. I had to be home by 9 p.m. on weeknights. Sharp, no wiggle room, no grace period, no exceptions. This came after I missed curfew twice in 1 month. Once because I genuinely lost track of time while watching a movie at my friend Jake's place. And once because I stopped for gas and got stuck behind someone trying to pay in coins. My mom gave me the disappointed speech. My dad, however, went full courtroom drama. He leaned across the dinner table, pointed at me and said, "I want to see your face in this house at 9 p.m. exactly. You walk in here at 9:01, there will be consequences." It was so over the top, I almost laughed. But instead, I nodded solemnly, went to my room, and began plotting. The next night, I arrived home at 8:55 p.m., said hi, smiled sweetly, and walked straight upstairs. Once in my room, I opened my laptop and found a selfie. It was a good one, neutral expression, just enough lighting. I printed it, cut out the face, and glued it to a piece of cardboard. I duct taped it to a ruler for a handle. Then I handed it to my 10-year-old little brother, who was already curious about what I was doing. I gave him one job. At exactly 9 p.m., walk into the living room where our parents were watching TV, hold up the stick with my face on it, and say exactly what I told him. Meanwhile, I got into Jake's car and we parked just around the corner. At 9 p.m. sharp, my brother walked in with cardboard me raised like a protest sign and announced, "There's my face in the house at 9 p.m. exactly, just like you asked. I wish I could have seen it in person." My brother told me later that my dad's expression went from confusion to rage in the span of a heartbeat. He stood up so fast, the remote clattered to the ground. "What is that?" he barked. My mom apparently lost it laughing, tried to hold it in, failed miserably, which of course made my dad even angrier. "That's not funny. This isn't a game," he yelled. "Her face is here though," my brother said, proud as hell. "You said you wanted to see her face." At 9:30, I waltzed through the front door like it was any other night. My dad was pacing in the hallway, arms crossed, practically steaming. "You think you're funny?" he said. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "You said you wanted to see my face in the house at 9. My face was here." He grounded me for 2 weeks on the spot. No phone, no car, no going out. But it was 100% worth it. By Monday, the story had made the rounds at school. Apparently my brother told someone at the bus stop, who told someone in first period, and by lunch I was getting high fives in the hallway. One teacher even said, "Heard about your creative interpretation of the rules. That's one for the books." Jake printed out the selfie I used and taped it to his locker. Someone else photoshopped it onto the Mona Lisa and sent it around. For a full week, I was a walking meme. My mom eventually cracked and told me it was technically brilliant, but socially stupid. She also said with a smirk that if I ever pulled something like that again, she'd personally ground me until I was 30. But the best part? A month later, when I was heading out for a group project, yes, really, my dad stopped me at the door. "Just so we're clear," he said, holding up a finger, "your entire physical body must be inside this house by 9 p.m. Not your face on a stick, not your voice on speakerphone, the whole you. Got it?" I nodded. Then he winked, and that's how I got grounded, became a legend at school, and forced my parents to redefine the concept of being home on time, all in one night.